Hello everybody and welcome back live to the second round of what has already been a very entertaining new Simraceway Championship. Now so far we've celebrated McLaren's 50 years of Silverstone. We've seen some fantastic cars race through Silverstone in the past, but now it's time to celebrate this GP anniversary by heading back to Donington Park with the legendary McLaren Racing MP44, the same car that is so legendary in the terms of Ayrton Senna. It's a car that really does symbolise everything about the Brazilian and about the British team. So my name's Liam Jenkins. I'll be calling all of the action for you over the races tonight. We've got some masterful action up for you, and we are currently in qualifying for the 500 to 900 B races. Master Rocco, that's currently the fastest man on circuit, on pole position. He's on a 111.047 in front of Sky One, not the TV channel. However, Sky One, a 111.466. Brocky in third, a 111.5. A 111.7 from Tatoon. And Garif in fifth with a 111.721. Just behind them, we've got Pack 223, Jim Wally, and DR3 D9. So some new faces and some old ones joining us here today at Donington. Just taking a quick look through the field then and letting you guys know what's going to be the main story. DR3 over the line, moves up to 7th. So the rookie here making a little name for himself as he enters turn 1 and just runs a little bit wide as he enters the crane of curves. Now, a very difficult circuit, even in the slowest of cars. Recently we've had Formula E, of course, having their test in there, setting some impressive lap times. Some big drivers such as Lucas Di Grassi and obviously Andretti Motorsport have a team there as well. So right now, seeing the gorgeous McLaren MP44 reach speeds of close to 200 miles an hour around the emphatic circuit is going to be a sight to behold. So, quick update as to anyone trying to attack Master Rocco. There is one driver that's beat him so far. So, Pack is currently now top of the timesheets by 8/10. Master Rocco, not the master of Donington, as he goes in towards a very tricky chicane. And now I'd say very tricky. He's gone a bit wide there, hasn't he? And indeed lost a lot of time. Geraint in third, back in the pit lane. We've got Brocky in fourth. Fifth is Sky One up through Craner, out of the old hairpin to tune in P6 as he makes his way in towards the extremely tight hairpin. And we've seen some very interesting manoeuvres, I think, to say the least, through there in the past few months or so. We've had Donington on the service. We've got Brands Hatch on the way to Simraceway. You can drive that for free. So be sure to check that one out. A brilliant circuit. And the circuit where I made my very first commentary debut back in 2012 for circuit commentary. That was for Formula 3. So that's got a little special place in my heart, and I'm sure Donington does for many of the Simraceway users as well. You just look at the complexion of what Donington has through the Craner curves, goes to tune in 6. He hasn't made an improvement just yet. Master Rocco still on his lap though. He's just come out of Coppice Corner and is making his way down the Starkey straight in towards the chicane at Goddard's, out of the Fogarty S's depending on the layout. So they were using the S's section, and look at the anti-cuts. He just almost clipped one. That was imperative, and luckily kept that car stable, but a very loose entry there for the man in second. He's pushing 110% out of that McLaren, that much is for sure. So out of the Melbourne hairpin and in towards Goddard's for what could be one of his final endeavours of the afternoon. Big lock up there by the car in front. Is not going to halt his time whatsoever. He's going to move his way over to the start-finish line, and does he improve? The answer is no, he doesn't. So Pat 23 still looking very safe at the top. Rocky's only got to find 2/10 in third. Into the chicane very late on the entry there, actually taking a much wider entry to get drive on the exit of the corner. It's obvious that car is quicker in a straight line. He wants to utilise that as much as possible. And now Brocky's starting to really put the hammer down. He'll fling the car out of Goddard's for his presumably final time today. Will this time be good enough or no? Not enough to beat him. Unfortunately, we've got 1 minute left in the session, so he luckily does get one more go, as does Master Rocco. Pack still in the pits thinking he's done enough. So it's going to be a risky game. Master Rocco seeming much tighter, going out of the Melbourne hairpin this time round. Making his way in towards Goddard. It's going to be intriguing to see. Oh, and he's almost lost the back end there. The grip levels were low. And that could be vital. We're over the start-finish line. Comes Master Rocco. Then he does take 3/10 of a second out. And he does get another lap. So, oh, he's come in. So it's over. So Master Rocco cannot improve enough. He does take time out. He does further cement his second place, as Brocky's now got 3 more tenths to find. Whether he can get them or no is obviously another equation entirely. And he's gone a bit wide coming out of Melbourne. I've got a feeling that's not the trajectory he wanted coming out of the very, very steep chicane. He's gone a bit wide as well, going in towards Goddard. Flings the car out straight and over the start-finish line again. Is it enough? Oh, and he takes 3/10 out, back down to 2/10. But it's not enough for the second row, well, for the second place. We'll start from the second row of the grid. Geraint in fourth, Sky One fifth. Tattoon is still out there. Jim Wally making his way towards the chicane from 7th. We'll ride on board with him as he brings that MP44 to the end of his qualifying session and see if he can maybe pull a bit of a result out of the bag here today. He's weaving. I don't think he's going to find much time at all. He's Only 3/10 from Tattoon, but the car's looking a little bit twitchy for my liking, especially in that part of the circuit. Over the line he comes, and that is going to be game, set and match. No improvement for Jim Wally, no improvement for DR3D9, and that's going to sum up everything other than Master Rocco's time. We've got 2 more drivers to cross the start-finish line now. One of them is Tattoon. Over he goes from 6th, and he improves to 2nd. What a lap there by Tattoon. Right in the dying moments, the track levels obviously at their optimum. Tattoon parks his car on the front row of the grid, so Master Rocco has to set a personal best to secure himself back on the front row. Can he do it, or will he be alongside Brocky? He doesn't. He stays 3rd. So what a session. Pack 23 starts from 1st. We'll be right back with you for the full action-packed 12-lap race. Okay, so welcome back live here to Simraceway from Donington Park. The second round of the GP Anniversary Championship. We've got one of the most celebrated cars in history, along with one of the most audacious tracks. It's going to be a night of racing to remember for one and all. My name's Ian Jenkins, calling all of the action for you. As Pack 23 lines up on pole position. A late dive into second for Tattoon. Will it be a late dive to turn one? Yes, it could be. A terrible start by the pole sitter. Tattoon takes the lead, and Master Rocco now up to the inside. And this could be crucial. Oh, he's in Brocky, and the pole sitter goes off. And Master Rocco is going to be feeling a bit guilty for that one. Jim Wally takes the lead, a resounding lead with Tatoon in second from Master Rocco. Pax in fourth, Sky 1 fifth, Garipe in sixth, Brocky down in seventh, and DR3 in eighth. So Brocky's had a very, very bad start. He needs a little bit of help now, and you've got to feel for him. He'll doing all of he can now to catch Garipe down the Starkey straight. Let's see if he can pull anything off though. Sky 1 already looking for an audacious move on Pac. Pac unsure whether to defend or no. Sky launches his car to the inside line, and already the bollards have been removed from their original post. But all the cars through the very tight chicane. I was going to say safely for the first time, but I think Garipe's had a bit of an off. Indeed, and he's not done any damage to the car. He should be okay, but Brocky now up to 6th, so the progress is being made, but will it be enough in 11 laps to catch Jim Wally, who's now got already nearly a 5-second lead over Tatoon? So Jim Wally flying, Tatoon second, being hounded very closely by Master Rocco, who will be doing all he can to make sure it's him that ends up second in the race. Qualifying is one thing, but you get points in the race, not for where you start. It's all about where you finish here at Donington Park, and I'm pretty sure Master Rocco will be doing all in his power to make that dream a reality, to finish on the podium here today. It's been a bit wide day. You can see already how much speed he's trying to take, and to be wary though, Sky 1's not that far adrift and will punish him for any errors. Donington, one of the few circuits I haven't actually been to yet in person, so definitely something that will be on the bucket list. It's a gorgeous circuit, one with a lot of history. Master Rocco's race was very almost history there. A massive lock-up going in towards the chicane, and Sky 1 is just getting closer and closer as time goes by, and it's not really something you can afford to be doing really, especially if he wants to stay on the back of Tatoon. He's going to get a very handy slipstream from Jim Wally up front. Into turn 1 again, and a big lock up there for Tatoon. Oh, they make contact, and now they're side by side going into Craner. I think Master Rocco somehow come out on top there, and look how closely packed they are. Sky 1 is now right in the mix for a second place finish here. Although Tatoon right back to the outside, and he's going to be pushed way through the old hairpin in towards McLean's. And a very abrasive manoeuvre there by Master Rocco, simply dusting the opposition aside. He wants to get a move on. He does not want to be lingering around watching Jim Wally escape away from him. So down in towards the hairpin, and looking back at Tatoon already. He's under pressure there from Pack 23, as a matter of fact. Now, Brocky's down in 8th, so Brocky must have had another error since he was moving his way back through the field. I've got a funny feeling he may have just had another off slightly, and is now going to set Garipe in his sights, because DR3 has had a little adventure scenically as well. That 4 of 11 very firmly starting as Jim Wally makes his way through Craner with Master Rocco just a couple of seconds adrift. Not that much, that's by no means a safe lead, and he's going to have to be very hesitant about looking in his mirrors, because I think everyone's aware of just what Master Rocco can do here. He's a very, very intriguing driver, to say the least. Very passionate, and I think we're going to see some of that attribute here today. Oh, he's gone wide actually, and I think Tatoon's gone through. Yes, he has. So Master Rocco maybe a bit too passionate there, pushing a bit too much. Now that could be his downfall, as obviously Pack 23 is right behind him now. You do not want to risk dig through there, do you? Well, at this stage, still plenty of racing left with us now. We're 4 laps into 11. He's a little late lunge there, and that almost cost him a big position again. The driving's getting a bit desperate, it seems, almost. Now to the final corner, Pack 23 is now into 3rd position. So Pack over the start-finish line, having what can only be described as a fantastic race so far. And just capitalising on everybody else's mistakes. Out of Crane, and now making their way, actually, I wonder, I was just looking through there, was Brocky. And Amari's driving style is quite aggressive. You can just see him there pushing, using all of the track and a bit more sometimes. Trying to stay very central to the racing line. He's not really attacking the curbs. And it's intriguing to see the man who was so elated after a good qualifying result is now down in 7th. You've got Garaith 6th, Sky 5th, Master Rocco 4th. Oh, it's a tune and pack spin! And Master Rocco goes through, Sky 1 goes through. And can he get to tune as well? This will put him on the podium here for Sky 1. And it could very well be Sky 3 if he can just find a way through. But not quite moving to the inside. He's been very smart. Now the drag race in towards that first corner begins. The Apex tightens up quickly though at Redgate, and Sky 1's got to be aware of it. Indeed he is. And the move cut short to Toon, holding on for this, well, by the skin of his teeth there. That was not an easy defensive manoeuvre to make. And in turn, he's got to really think about how he approaches the rest of this race. And already this championship's turned on its head. We said we were going to see a thriller here today at Donington Park, and well, I think we already are. By everyone's standard, this has been some of the most brilliant racing you could wish to see during a Simraceway Sunday stream live here on the official YouTube channel. Battle starting to rage all through the field as Garaith went a little bit loose coming out of the chicane. And more Sky 1's gone wide again. Now Sky 1 down to 5th. Was there contact? I think that may have been with Master Rocco, because he's had a very dodgy exit. Now Pack is back to 2nd. And this Pack is shuffled more times than a magician shuffling cards. I cannot believe how many times these drivers have switched places in just 6 laps. Look at it. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Separated by just about 5 seconds. The best part is we've still got just under half the race left to go. We've really only just got started here at Donington Park. Garaith now starting to launch an all-out assault on the car in front of him to Toon. Is there going to be a bit of retribution for Garaith, who's had an appalling start to the race? It can only be described as appalling. And now, through the demise of everyone else, has got a clear chance of not only a top 5, but who knows, maybe, just maybe, even a podium. So once again, the hairpin proving to be a bit of a task as they all fly through to Toon and Garaith almost outbreak into each other. Sky 1's got to be panicking, looking at those mirrors, and be spending more time looking at what's behind him than what's in front. Side by side go to Toon and Garaith. Toon launches up the inside, and Sky 1 caught completely off guard. Very lucky to hold on to one position now. Now Master Rocco's contact. Oh, there's 3 of them involved on the main straight, and Master Rocco's off. Toon is off. Brocky is up to 6th. I'm not even sure what's going on anymore. I'm absolutely amazed at the amount of action that this midfield has seen here today in just 9 minutes. Incredible scenes. You just don't know who's going to finish where. For all we know, Jim Wally could still have it off. He's been the only driver who's had an incident-free race so far. So Jim Wally continues his path to glory as he goes in towards that ever so tempting hairpin again, out of Melbourne and in towards Goddard's, bringing with him Pack 233, who has escaped the oncoming slaughter behind. We've just received information that Master Rocco does have a penalty for his dangerous return to the circuit, so his chances of a podium have unfortunately become very short-lived. He'll make his way out of Goddard's and presumably go straight into the pit lane, not wanting to waste any more time. He doesn't know, so going to push on and try and see what he can get away with. But lap 9 starting, we've still got Brocky, Garaith, Sky battling over 3rd position. So some fantastic scenes here already. We can only expect to see better as the race wears on though. And up through the old hairpin in towards McLean's Go Sky. Bit of a lock up there, strangely. So in towards another overtaking spot for Brocky. He misses the corner completely. So Brocky, who's been unfortunately inconsistent today, is paying the consequences now, isn't he? Because in the run up towards the Melbourne hairpin again, the man sat just inside the top 5 may not be there for much longer if this continues. He needs to find a conservative run. So Brocky starts another lap. Tatoon leaving the pits, and Brocky goes up the inside. So Tatoon now a lap down after the damage caused by the earlier incident. So Garith 4th, still Sky in 3rd, but that could be subject to change. Penultimate lap of the race. We can still see some wild changes here. Although the field mainly spaced out, the battle for the podium final position resumes, so Garith reluctant to give way. Sky 1 defending with everything he's got. It has been a very much Sky 1 performance. Can he hold on for about a minute and a half longer? Over the line goes Jim Wally then. Will be the white flag that's been raised by the race director. Final lap of the race underway. A 1:13.0 last time round by Jim Wally, and a 1:14.2 by Pack 293 in 2nd. You've got Sky 1 in 3rd with a 1:11. So Sky 1 is starting to catch 2nd. Garith is starting to catch 3rd. We could still see a bit of a mammoth war on our hands. Brocky stayed there in P5. Tatoon should secure 6th, and our only retirement of the day so far, other than DR3, has been Master Rocco, who was disqualified for not serving his penalty. So Master Rocco out of the race. DR3 was a retirement, and that leaves the drivers left on the track to battle it out, as Pack seems to be battling with the grass there. Again, a bit of an off, and that's going to presumably end his chances of a more exciting finish. So it was definitely a disqualification for Master Rocco for ignoring the penalties, but no such penalties were to be found for Jim Wally. Our race leader has led every lap of the race so far. A masterful start, some crafty driving, and some lightning pace. Over the line comes Jim Wally, the first race of the evening. Here's a winner again in Simraceway. Race 2 of the GP Anniversary Championship goes to Jim Wally. Sky 1 with a very well-deserved podium finish there. He'll be absolutely delighted, as will Garith making his debut on the podium. Brocky just missing out in 4th. Pack in 5th, could have been so much more, as could Tatoon. And as we said already, DR3 and Master Rocco have retired. We'll be back very shortly with you for the next race in the GP Anniversary Championship.